Hi, I'm Venk,
And I'm Jaya.
and this is the reality. Hey, we have a lot to cover, Jaya.
Yes, we do.
We have the first reunion of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and then we're going to get into New York, and then watch out for our next video coming up. It's going to be, we're going to be chatting about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is back, baby. But that's for another video. Right now, before we start it off, I would love for you to like and subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
We're literally a magic duo who's hilarious, fabulous, interesting, dynamic, beautiful, glamorous, very humble.
Yeah.
Also, I want to give a shout out to Jaya's dress.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I love it. You're dripping in sparkles and you're just gorgeous.
Thank you. I love it too.
I love it too. And also shout out to consignment and secondhand shopping, because that's how she procured the dress, and that is the future of fashion. Take it from me.
Yes. Listen to Vank. It's not wasteful. It's not being wasteful. Yes. Yes.
You can find gems, darling. Gems. Gems is her name. No one else is the same Gems. Okay, my love.
Let's get started.
Recap.
So, okay, top of the reunion.
I know.
Dolores had vaginal rejuvenation.
Her vag got reconstructed.
Yes, and Teresa saw it.
Did she see the leftovers, or did she see the whole procedure?
And then Margaret had a breast reduction and a facelift, and she felt that it had finally settled in. And I think she looks great.
She looks so good.
Agreed.
I'm just like, gosh, what
Right.
a little bit of a little something here and there can do. I just want to get a new face.
No, you're beautiful. You don't need it.
I want to look like that one guy.
You're brown. It doesn't frown.
I know, but I want to look like that one guy from the Crazy Rich Asian reality show.
Oh my gosh.
Guy Tang.
Okay, so then we get into, they talk about Gia's song and like how it became a TikTok phenomenon, which it did, and it's amazing.
The lyrics alone are they're so deep. She just wished things could get better.
And we find out that little Frankie, working for Teresa's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. And Teresa, you know what? I will say this. I've watched his face twice and I like it. I approve. I mean, this is a step. This is a monumental step up.
Sure is. I mean, he looks exactly like who I would think she would date.
Now that she's famous.
And he's very New Jersey.
But also into her style, her aesthetic.
They match.
Like her aesthetic is Game of Thrones, and he is somebody that I would picture liking that aesthetic.
They totally match.
Right.
And so then we kind of like get into it, right? We get into, I mean, it's not that exciting, but it's more exciting than the past 13 episodes have been.
You know, here's the thing. I was thinking after I'd watched it, if we had just watched the reunion special, you would have cut down on wasting my time.
Yes.
And we would have had like all of this packed into one whole thing, and we found out new things, and it's like that was exciting, and there was a lot of anger. It was
great. So one of the big things we found out was Margaret has a natural born son. What? In all these seasons, I always thought that she only had stepchildren, but she apparently has a natural. So I Googled after I got off the reunion episode because I was so confused, because she's never said that. And apparently she does have one son with her previous husband.
Fabulous.
Right? So she has one natural born son. She says the relationship is good with him, but not with the stepdaughter, right? Because of the divorce.
Well, I mean, she did. I mean, she has admitted to, sleeping with
Infidelity, right?
The kids are not going to always be too thrilled about it.
No. And so then they get into it about Margaret making a comment about Jennifer and calling her materialistic, which she is materialistic. And
I will say that Canary Diamond I was living for, but it's like it's a little just slightly ostentatious.
Slightly. I mean, I can't stand Jennifer. She's the worst.
Nobody
I don't care. And so when she was making that comment, when Margaret did make that comment, like, oh, please, like your Instagram says you're married to a, surgeon and this, that, and the other. And then Teresa makes a mean comment about Margaret being married to a plumber and you wouldn't put that on your Instagram. I thought that was so awful. It's like, oh, you were married to a guy who sent you to put you who.
By the way, yeah, you're
married to a jailbird.
You're in prison inmate 74762.
24601.
What are you talking about? Your husband was probably somebody's prison bitch. We don't know.
Please.
Teresa, honey.
And I loved it. I mean, she's right. Like Margaret is not a dick swinger. And like Jennifer is. And
Margaret is a self-made woman.
Yes, with great style. Jennifer, maybe you could learn a thing or two.
Yeah. Or you know what? I don't want to see your learning process. Please fire her.
I hate Jennifer. I can't. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be. I just don't mean her. No, I don't think she adds to the show.
She doesn't add to the show. And she also always has that face like she's asking a question whilst holding in a fart.
What is that face? And then I thought it was good that like they brought up the fact that Jennifer doesn't treat her mom right. Like Melissa said, like, I'm sorry, like you watching the show, you don't treat your mother well. You don't speak to her in a kind way. You defend your father. I mean, it feels like she blindly defends her father. She doesn't at all acknowledge any of her mother's pain. And she was terrible to her mom. I would never speak to my mom the way she spoke to her mother and treated her. And I was kind of glad that the women sort of like ganged up on her because it was so shitty.
I will say this. Yeah, I will say that it was unpleasant to watch. But we don't know what happened when she was growing up. If all she saw was her mother yelling at her dad.
We don't know everything. Do. I mean, that's true, but like what I saw on television wasn't grand.
It was uncomfortable.
Yes, and the only one that stuck up for Jennifer was Teresa, but that's because Jennifer is her minion and is in her corner constantly. I mean, that's her little, buddy. So I felt like everybody else was like, yeah, you really don't treat your mother well. And Teresa's like, what are you talking about?
Teresa, she's
and then there was the comment that Jennifer is jealous of Melissa. I believe that. I do think that Jennifer is jealous of Melissa. I think there's a lot of envy there, just like her store. And
I liked that. I liked
that. And I think it comes through. I think we do see that, whether Jennifer wants to believe it or not, And what killed me was that Jennifer just couldn't wait to say that Margaret apparently made a comment about Joe Gorga saying like, oh, please, my husband's a plumber. We know he doesn't pay his bills. I don't believe that Margaret would say something like that. I just don't believe it because she would not say that to Jennifer, who she knows would bring it back onto the show. And it was never on the show. And Jennifer doesn't have the ability to keep something like that in. So it's not true.
Yeah, she's like, she can't keep a secret.
No, that would be a golden nugget she would run with, to cause
that would be her storyline.
Yes, she's a pot stirrer. That would be something. So she's lying. And then Teresa's like, she told me that you said that. Well, then Teresa, why didn't you bring that up? Because I don't believe for a minute that you wouldn't say something like that. You would love to ice Margaret out, like.
But Teresa was doing the whole first episode or second episode of the show, was running around talking about Jackie.
Right.
And you know what? It was very nice for Jackie to admit that her weef was not good.
Yes.
Fine, like maybe they watched our show, because I clearly talked about
breakdown hair. Yeah.
Her hair was right now. You look like you have breakdown hair.
Do I? Wait.
There. That's perfect.
Yeah, and then we have, of course, what was the second half of the 13 episodes, which is Melissa and Joe's relationship. Joe comes out red hot, wanting to defend himself because he is not a chauvinist, and he was furious that people would say that about him. And they admit that they're both jealous of each other. But what I found interesting was, by the end of that conversation, Andy asked if they were happy, and Joe was like, yeah, we're happy. And Melissa's like, yeah. Like,
I mean,
they didn't look happy at all.
Kids are going to be singing, I wish things would just get better.
better. And then we also find out that, like, Joe Giudice has said terrible things about Melissa.
Horrible things.
And Teresa has done nothing about it.
She will allow, this is kind of how, I don't know if it's, she's one part's evil, like, and then she's like 5 parts stupid. It's
5 parts stupid, a sprinkle of nice, because she's not that nice.
She's far from nice.
So anyway, so we find that out. And also, the whole, obviously the chauvinistic comment comes up, and Mark's like, but you said this, and I felt that you were being chauvinistic. And then he asks if it hurt Dolores's feelings, and she was like, it bothered me, I do know who you are. But he still didn't, he apologized, but he didn't say he was wrong. His apology to Dolores was, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry.
That is a bullshit apology.
It's not an apology.
That is a non-apology.
It's not an apology.
I'm sorry I killed you.
Also called himself an amazing guy. I can't.
If you call yourself an amazing guy, you're pretty dumb. And you know what? You're probably also not amazing. And that's coming from me, who is a genuinely kind, decent, and beautiful human being.
Amazing. You're an amazing guy.
Amazing.
So yeah, then they get into Joe Giudice and the fact that he, I guess, made a terrible comment about Melissa and Joe, about Joe actually taking all of his parents' money, and was really bad to Teresa's parents and what have you. And Teresa didn't say much, except she brought up a time where they didn't stay.
Oh yeah,
holiday
11 years ago. 11 years.
I know. Back when the cousin was on.
Oh my gosh, Wakili.
Well,
the Wakilis. Another why so boring.
Also, you are not serving the show. Yes. So the only thing from that, Teresa was like, I'll just ask Joe to stop talking about you. Again.
No ish, Sherlock.
Yeah.
Teresa will go crazy over sprinkles cookies, but
when stuff like this is happening, she just can't be bothered. She can't touch it. She'll just fix it. It's no big deal. It's time for her to get the old Hevo.
There needs to be a full recast.
Old Hevo, I'm done. Also, they move on, and they talk about Margaret's hair, blah, blah, blah. And Margaret, they're kind of complimenting Margaret. I noticed, they kind of show everyone's face around the room. And I felt like Dolores was giving like a look like she smelled shit. Like she was like this the whole time when they were talking about Margaret and her pigtails and her new hair. Like,
Yeah, what was up with Dolores during the
I don't know. I was like, is something going on that she's like not in Margaret's corner all of a sudden? Like, what happened?
she didn't really talk very much. There was nothing she was
No.
contributing.
Right.
Yeah, so that was, what else are we missing? Are we missing anything else?
Jennifer tried to slut shame Margaret. That came up again. And I think it's true. I think that's what Jennifer does because Jennifer's stupid and doesn't understand. I mean, it was outrageous. Like even having to have that discussion again about Margaret and her book, she was still trying to like slut shame her, which is unbelievable. Worry about your own marriage and like your husband Nosferatu, okay? Like seriously.
She's definitely giving me like very much 45 January 6th vibes.
Yes. She's the worst. I can't stand her. And then basically they end it with the fact that apparently Teresa and Jennifer are going to drop a bomb and say that somehow Margaret is the start of Jackie's, husband rumor, the affair, which I don't believe that either. Like, stop.
Don't believe it.
So that was the end of the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion 1.
Now, let's get ready to class, elegance, and alcohol.
Yeah.
With the Real Housewives of New York City.
Money can buy you class.
Yes.
So we open on the lovely Real Housewives of New York and Ramona and Sonia laying in bed discussing Burning Man. Ramona liked the healing session. It seems like Sonia really enjoys, they're all really liking Ebony, which makes me happy.
They're all really liking Ebony.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I love Ebony.
I mean, she's great. She is great. She is such a good addition. She is so level-headed. I'm sure we're going to see other things happen, but she is the voice of reason.
She also clearly scares these women.
Oh, yes.
Because they're like, if I say one thing wrong, which they will say.
And they have already said.
Thing that's
I know, I love
at least 50% racist. She is going to be like, we're going to talk about that. Because she did talk about it.
She did it very well.
She explained what, and you saw Ramona just go, I understand. I understand and I get it.
She got it. She apologized. I thought it was great.
These women are literally bowing down to Ebony, and I am loving it.
I am too. I mean, they all loved Ebony. I think my favorite is like the top. So Sonia's like, she really opened up during the healing session, but no one was there to hug her. And then she made the Irish goodbye. And, Sonia was like, do you think she felt like the odd man out? Yes, absolutely. You women are nuts. Yes, she felt like the odd man out.
By the way, it just occurred to me, I would give anything for Ebony and Bethany to be on a season together.
Me too, because
Bethany
nominate.
Bethany would literally crawl into her shell.
I would love it.
I want somebody
to make her do that. I agree with you.
Because she has said since she's been off the show, she has been so problematic.
I know.
Especially with the whole Meghan Markle thing.
I know.
You know what?
I know.
I'm not here for it.
And when Ramona attacked Leah's outfit, I mean, it killed me about the too many animal prints. I'm sorry, I thought Leah looked great. Ramona, you didn't look great. So anyway, then, at one point, Ebony we already jumped to the discussion that Ramona and Ebony had at the wine tasting, right?
Yeah.
But in one moment I found so funny was, Ebony confides in Luann that Ramona made her uncomfortable, the way she referred to the help, not remembering their names, the way she treated them. And then when they're going to get in the van, Luann is so friendly to the driver, says hello, introduces herself, and they do the flashback to her.
She's like, you can call me Mrs. de Lesseps or
But
the Countess.
like, there we have it, minding her P's and Q's because, again, Ebony.
I know. I love Ebony. I
amazing.
love the power that Ebony has.
I love
She
it.
literally is Black girl magic. And I mean magic in the actual, she's a magician.
Yeah.
She has turned Luann into an appropriately behaved young lady.
I mean, I just love it.
I love Ebony.
So we learn Luann has a new man, Garth. He's South African.
Cute.
She's in the worst vest ever. I just couldn't with that. I was like, what are you wearing? You know, sometimes her style is not for me. And they obviously go wine tasting. The discussion happens. Leah, besides the discussion about the help where Ramona apologizes, Leah brings up the fact that Ramona did not give plasma.
Okay. I'm glad that Leah called her out, but like, how
she had to let it go. She couldn't let it go.
Like, Leah, look, this is a woman that went to Mar-a-Lago and hung out with Trump. Leah, I love you, but you have to let this one go. She is, if she even got vaccinated, that's a big step in the right.
You should be happy about that. Yeah. I mean, yeah,
be happy.
It would not end. Like, I was like, she essentially is saying she's not smart enough to come up with a lie. All she's saying is, I gave my statement to the press. She lied. She is telling you she lied. Let it go.
Also, like, her story about how plasma is given is, I don't believe.
She doesn't even know. She doesn't know how it's given. She's lying. We love you, Leah. Just you're never gonna win. Leah got so angry. Then Luann gets up to go check on Ramona and she's having diarrhea.
And I love the joke. She got so scared she shit her pants.
I know. I mean, it killed me so much. And then Luann says to the cameraman, I'm so sorry you had to hear that.
The thing about it is how these women have devolved. Now, they have gotten so much more beautiful, but off the outside, but their behavior is just ratchet.
I mean, Ramona's always saying like, oh, Leah, you got a dick pic? That's just not elegant. And Ramona's in the back, I'm having diarrhea. I'm so
it's just like so perfect. And
so good.
But the fact that Ramona said it and not Sonia.
I know.
Because that is
Ramona's the one that pooed on the floor. Don't you remember that in Colombia?
Thanks you.
So then Sonia goes to check on Ramona. Ramona's making all these comments about Leah's outfit to make herself feel better. But I love that Sonia was like, yeah, but you have a million animal prints on too. So like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and what is this whole like, why Ramona shouldn't be commenting? And like, these are well-dressed women, but like, I thought Leah's outfit was very Leah.
That's great.
She's hot too. Like,
yes.
Like, stop trying to like be jealous.
Yes.
Stop being a jealous hater. Drinking your haterade. Liam McSweeney.
Drinking your Ramona Pinot.
She should switch to like Luann's sparkling
rosé, which Leah has a talk with Luann. We do see Luann struggling, like Leah said, like, don't you think that this could be a crutch and this could maybe be counterproductive to your sobriety?
She has a point. I like it is. It feels like it's a tightrope she's walking. However, I'm not. If it works for her, congratulations.
That's what I think.
I think it's not a one size fits all solution, but I do think I do see both points.
I do too. I agree with you. I thought I was glad Leah said it, but if this is what's working for Luann, then it's what's working for Luann.
Only time will tell.
Right.
Only time
will tell. I mean, she had a really hard time at the bar. I did feel bad for her.
Yeah, I could feel her. It felt stressful. Like being in a.
Well, yes, she was out there smoking a cigarette. She was having a really hard time.
I don't blame her.
Right.
But they were all wearing lovely clothes from. This is after.
Yes, they then drunk. Well, Sonia is clearly drunk. They go shopping.
They go shopping to a store, Alex Vinash. Yes. And then we both follow each other on Instagram. And he designed the Golden Globes 2020 outfit for Billy Porter that was all white and had like a train. And that train, just a little Hollywood insider knowledge, that train you could take off. And the reason why I know this is because I was behind him in the like line to the bathroom for the 2020 Golden Globes. Because I went to the 2020 Golden Globe. Hi. Somebody thought it would be a good idea to invite me to the Golden Globe. Who was drunk when they made that invitation? No, they're dear friends.
Yes, and still you have great stories that we can't tell.
Yeah, some fun
that we can never tell. No. So yes, so they go shopping. They have a great time. Sonia and Luann buy matching tops. Luann buys it for Sonia because she feels so bad for her. She feels bad for her because she's drunk and she's having a hard time.
I know. I love the black poof. I love it. It's again, Alex Vinash is the designer. He's fabulous.
I loved the way Sonia wore it with the little Peter Pan collar.
Yeah, so versatile. Such a versatile designer. Check his stuff out. He follows me on Instagram.
Maybe you can send us some stuff to wear during our episodes. We'd gladly wear them.
If we get a big following, all you have to do is like and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, no big deal. Just do it.
And then we can have designers give us clothes.
Please. We love clothes.
We do.
Yeah. So then Sonia, it becomes about Sonia because she gets really drunk. I mean, she gets really drunk.
Here's the thing. What she was talking about was actually like really valuable information to know that, all of these economic things that are happening in the economy are affecting the homeless, but they're making the homeless.
I mean, what did she say? Homeless are getting homelesser.
And then of course, Ramona has to talk about Wells
Fargo. And then Sonia loses her shit.
Because she's a Morgan.
You don't touch the Morgan papers.
The thing is, I am thinking that everybody in the Morgan family who like maybe they're just like
so embarrassed. That happens. And then the other thing that's happening is Heather Thompson is invited.
And then, so I love Leah, but Leah, what are you trying to do here, girl?
Listen, like she doesn't like Heather Thompson. I get it. I don't like her either, but she is basically going through every tweet and article where Heather Thompson has said something horrible about one of these women.
She literally brought out the receipts and she's like, and Countess and Luann, she said that you're a drug addict and you
do hard drugs.
And you're a hooker. And Ramona, what she said about you is you look like a blonde rat. And she has something to say about you, Ebony, but she hasn't met you yet, but she'll have something to say. I'm like, go!
I know.
Calm down. She's gonna.
I know.
Guess who's coming to dinner?
I mean, Heather. So next week looks really exciting.
Phenomenal. I mean, I cannot wait for Heather's face.
I know. Well, and then at the dinner, Leah starts bringing out the receipts. She starts like, you said this about,
And
this
then
person.
Heather's like, I did.
I did say that. Yeah, I did. I mean, what can she do? She has to address it, but how awkward.
Look, I'm so here for this awkwardness.
I am too. This is what we needed. Thank you, Bravo.
Starving.
Thank you, Leah, for giving this to us.
We need you. We need you, Leah. And even though it's hilarious what you're doing, I mean, continue.
Yeah.
Because this is way better material than Teresa Giudice could ever provide us.
We've had Salt Lake City, then New Jersey. Finally, we have the New York Housewives bringing us all the drama.
I mean,
3 episodes in, we're so happy.
Can't be happy enough. Okay, so
it's that time.
I think it's that time. I think it's time for taglines. So our first submission comes from Aaron Shirley, and his tagline is, "These have always brought me luck, and I'm not talking about my diamonds." I love the reference to Wet Diamonds by Liz Taylor, and he's talking about his cojones. Cojones.
Thank you, Aaron Shirley.
Aaron Shirley.
Yes. This next one is from friend of the show, Emily Reed. She's a dear friend of mine, and hers is, work hard, play harder, or pass out on the floor trying. Thank you, Emily Reed.
That was really good.
Oh, so was yours.
I mean, you guys, remember, you like us, you love us, you should support us because we are good people. You can follow us on Instagram at The Reality Hate F. Okay, you can follow us on TikTok, Reality Hate F. Okay, you can email us your tagline suggestions to the email down below, and that email is realityhatef@gmail.com. That's realityhatef@gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Please send us your taglines. Please smash that subscribe button and like us. Please.
Also, I have yet to get anybody to invite me out for dinner. I will pay.
Oh, I mean, he's incentivizing.
I'm incentivizing. Look, I'm going to pay. I'm going to take you all. We could go to Red Robin, Red Lobster,
Chili's,
Cheesecake Factory,
the OG, the Olive Garden. I mean, hey, the Olive Garden.
It's some of the best Italian food out there.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm single, and I'm available, and I'm also very desperate.
So just send us some emails because we like them.
We like them. Love you.
Bye.
Blackwater. We like it.
So good.
Quenches that thirst.
So good.